It's that time of the year again, and I'm here to get you all prepared for the holiday Christmas lights. Now, I'm not meaning just for the season, I'm meaning for the next year. Every single holiday, you'll have the best lights up on your home. And that's a huge thank you to Govee. Thanks to Govee for sponsoring this video. They have a bunch of different permanent outdoor lights available for you to choose. And today we're going to talk about the differences to find the right version for your home. Now, starting off, their very first model that they released were the permanent outdoor lights. Now, these are RGB IC. They work with Google as well as Alexa, and they are really great light. Now, they come in 50, 100, or 150 foot lengths, but they are non-cuttable. So you just kind of string them together. It does come with two lengths where you can kind of skip from a lower level to a higher level, but they're going to be really nice, bright, vibrant. They're 25 lumens, and they work great. Now next we have the Govee Permanent Outdoor Lights 2. So this is an updated model. These will reach up to 40 lumens, and these are RGB ICW, which means they added a new white LED to have better whites. And then these also come in 50 foot, 100 foot, or 150 foot length, and they have a few different extensions to help you get this modified for your home correctly. And then these are compatible with Google as well as Amazon, but they are also Matter compatible. So Matter allows you to incorporate it into the Apple Home ecosystem or SmartThings or other different devices. You're able to incorporate this to include it into your smart home. So this is Matter, not this one. And then one other thing is these have a white and black version. All of them actually have a white and black version. So you'll be able to get whatever color matches your soffit look there. These are really great. And then down here you can see that this goes up to 4000K, meaning the color of the light, which is 4000K, which is a pretty nice color. I like that one. We have many of our light bulbs around the home set at that color. So that is the Govee Permanent Outdoor Lights 2. Next we have the Govee Permanent Outdoor Lights Pro. Now I tried out this model last year. This is a really great option. This one, the unique part about it is able to be cut in certain places so you can get it to perfectly align to your home. And there are ways in which you can make it an end splice and a new splice to have this fit your home the best. Now this model also has the RGB IC WW. So it has an extra W, which I would say stands for warm white. So you're able to have a greater range in the white scale with these. You can go from the 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin, which is going to be a nice, really cool white to really warm. And then the lumens on this is going to be 50 lumens. So this is the brightest option available. Now for the sizes, you can get 100 foot length, you can get 150 foot length, or the 200 foot length. So if you really need a lot of lights, this is going to be the best option. The 200 foot length comes with an extra power inverter to increase the power for the rest of the lights and that extra 50 feet. And these are also Matter compatible, Amazon, Google, and come in white and black versions. So really excited for this one. Now, one other option that Govee has for outdoor permanent lighting is the Govee Outdoor Strip Light Pro. So it's a little bit different than these. It does cost less, but it doesn't have individual light bulbs. It is just a light strip on your home. Now this comes in 3 sizes. I believe it's like a 30 foot, 65 foot, and then about 98 feet. But this is going to be a nice way to add some color to your home. This is going to be great for moderate weather, so maybe not as cold or as warm. This is going to be a great option. And then here, this does go from 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. So some really nice warm lights. So I believe this is 2 different light strips that we can add to the home to make it look really nice. Now all of these will work within the Govee app, and they have a bunch of different presets that you can use, or you can make your own kind of custom look. Now this model has 84 presets, and these ones will have 100 different presets that you can choose from. So really a preset for any time of the year or any special event or anything like that. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna unbox these right here. We can see what's inside and then kind of test out the colors, and then we'll get these installed. So starting off with the Govee Outdoor Permanent Lights, here we have the 150 foot model again. It comes with a 21 foot of power cable, so you're gonna plug it into your source. Then it's gonna go into the first light. Here it has a power on and off. And then the power adapter is rain proof, so you shouldn't submerge this in water, but can get wet. So it's gonna go to the first strand, and now there are 9 total strands in here. Each strand is 16.5 feet long with 12 lights on each strand, and each light is spaced 16 inches apart. Now to secure these, it comes with these clips. So one of these boxes has 75 clips, so there are plenty here to be able to get this totally secure to your home. Now it comes with an adhesive as well as a screw to get them mounted into your soffit. So again, 150-foot model, that is what comes in the box. So then when you are installing these, you may want to make a gap from maybe a lower level to a higher level or over to another area you need to put lights. It comes with two 12-foot extensions that you can use to extend it maybe up to the next level, and then you use a few strands and then go down to the bottom level. So that is what's inside that box. And here with the Govee Permanent Lights 2, we have the power cable that is 21 feet. With the power button here, and you can mount that with a 3M adhesive on the back. Then it goes to the first light strip, each light strip 16.5 feet. They have 12 lights per light strip, and then each light is 16 inches apart. And here you can see kind of the difference between the different LEDs. So this has those white LEDs built inside, and this does not have that. Now, while you are running your strips, you may need to add gaps. So there are two 12-foot extensions as well as two 4-foot extensions. And then new with this model is this new clip to be able to attach it to your home. So you'll put this over the light, and then you'll have two screws in each side. Now there are a total of 38 clips per box, and then there's two of these clips in each of the boxes. So I think that's like a total of 114 clips for the 74 lights inside the box. And then it comes with a bunch of anchors as well as screws. Then we have the Govee Outdoor Permanent Light Pros. We have the 21-foot power cable. Then we have 9 different strands of LED lights, and you can see the different kind of configuration there of the RGB IC WW. Now this one, they are 16.5 feet long, but there's only 10 lights on each strand, making it a total of 60 LEDs, and they are 20 inches apart. So you have a little bit of less lights here, but they are the 50 lumens. Now each of these does come with a bracket to get the power adapter installed so you can have it mounted nicely. And then for extensions here, you have the two different 12-foot cables and the two 4-foot cables, so you can use those. But if at some point this does not line up exactly where you want it to be, you can cut in between the lights. So I'd cut exactly between each light strip. And then what you can do is you can add an extension here. So one of these is going to extend it, and then you can take this off and just use the next line if you need to, or you can use one of these and then cut it where you need to and add this one, so you can really perfectly match that up. And there are 3 sets of these additional kits, so you can make 3 cuts anywhere in your line and then have them extend or end exactly where you want to. So really nice to have that. Now next we have the clips. So in here there are 45 clips, and then there is some extra adhesive. I had a problem before where I needed to remove them and replace it, so it was nice to have those extra. But there are only 45 clips, and I like to put a clip on each side of the light. So I actually pick up an extra set of clips. You can get this, I'll leave it down in the link below, but this will give you 150 clips. A little bit overkill, but now I will have plenty to put a clip on both sides to keep these secure. So these are permanent, and I won't need to go up after the summer to replace them. And so that is what you get here with the Pro model. And then last here we have the Govee Outdoor Light Strip Pro. Now we have the power cable, which gives you 20 feet from the power to the light strip here. And then each length is 32 feet or 10 meters long. And it comes with 2 bags of clips, anchors, and screws. I believe there's about 30 there. So you'll just place them evenly throughout this. So you just have one extension. So you'll start this in one part of the home. It'll go to this one, and then you'll attach it to the next one. So you'll have one continuous line of lights. There is no extension with this model. And then on the back here, you do have the VBH adhesive that you see on all of these that you'll be able to peel off and secure it, and having those clips make sure that it is mounted securely. So here you will just screw that in, and then you will be able to clip in the light strip right there. Now I do want to mention that there is no way to cut the light strip here. There's no little spot to say cut here. The only model of all of these that are able to be cut is the Outdoor Lights Pro that has the extenders and all the options to do that. I have a full video linked at the end on specifically how to get that installed. That is everything you get with these different models. Let's plug them in and do a quick light test. Now before I get these set up, I'm going to plug them in, make sure they all work, and then pair them in the app. So I'm going to head to the Govee Home app, create my account, tap the plus up here, and it's automatically finding the device I've plugged in. I'm going to tap add, and then over here on the controller, I just need to push the on off to get it to pair. Here we can give it a name. Done. Connect it to Wi-Fi, and then it will go through an update, and then we can control it from the app. I now have all the lights set up and paired, and they're in the same order: the Outdoor Lights 2, Outdoor Lights Pro, and Strip Light Pro. Now again, over here we have 25 lumens, 40 lumens, 50 lumens, not sure on the lumens. It says 4000 LM. So there you go. Now let's go ahead and test out some colors real quick. So let's just do a solid red here. Let's do orange, yellow, and we have the green, blue, light blue, purple, and then we have the white. Now you kind of notice a little different between all the white. Now this is set on the white scale in the middle between warm and cold. Let's go ahead and move it all the way to warm. So there you can see how warm they get. Now over here with the Outdoor Lights, they are a little bit more yellow because they don't have that warm white. Then let's go a little bit cooler. You can kind of see they evened out a little bit more. There's in the middle. And then if we go to the more cool white, you can see the Outdoor Lights 2 changed a bit. And there we have full white. And the last thing we need to figure out before we get these installed is how far away from the wall we're going to put them. So here, if we had them right up against the wall, it's going to give you with this triangle shape. If we move inch away, 2 inches, 3 inches. So there's 1 inch to 6 inches. So you kind of decide how far. If you go more, it's going to leave a little pattern there. You can still see it, but it's just not going to be bright right up against the wall. I think you'll get a better idea of how each of them look when they are installed on the house, so let's get installing. Now, starting off with the Govee Outdoor Permanent Lights, the first thing you need to do with all of these is find a power source. So luckily we had a power source right up here. They have a switch inside they can turn on to get these set up. And then I ran the power cable to where I'm starting the actual lights. I then secured that and then began running the lights. Now, I highly recommend you kind of do a rough estimate of how this is going to line up before you undo the adhesive so that you can save yourself a lot of headache later. Whenever you do a peak, I recommend to have the 2 lights on the side of the peak, so kind of measure where the middle is, and then hiding the cable at the bottom of the peak. So I could have had it come over here and connect down below, but I didn't want to have a cable or an extra light sitting right here. So I decided to bring it around the bottom and carry on to the upper level first using the 12-foot extension. And then that goes all the way up there around to the other side. And then I use the 12-foot extension to go down to finish the bottom layer. And then at the very end, you add a little cap to the final row of lights, and then I'll go through and do one final check, making sure that I've secured it everywhere I feel like needs to be secured at the top of the peaks and any corners where the wire may hang. And then about every 3 to 4 lights is how often I put a clip on this home so that it will last for a long time. All right, we are doing the Govee Outdoor Lights 2 on this house. Now the first step is to find the power, most important part. So you may have to route it around different parts of the home, but now we're going to secure the power box and then run the lines. Now for this spot, the best place to do this was through the garage without having to hire an electrician. So I mounted this here in the garage at the closest outlet, and then I ran the control box, attached that to the wall, and then we needed to make a hole where the lights would start. So we drilled through the stucco. Please, electricians, let me know if this is actually okay down in the comments. We did seal this off at the end, and then we put a hole through the stucco into the garage, and without absolutely any problems, we were then easily able to fish the wire out. And this is where we're going to start the run of the lights. Now, Govee does recommend to have the lights 5 to 8 centimeters away from the wall. Now, here we decided it would be best if it was about 5.5 centimeters. So that's where we started to drill the hole so that then we can just run the line straight out and have it work. Now, I did put the little bracket there outside so that if I ever needed to change out this strip, I would be able to do that, but then everything else will be stored away in the wall with it capped off. So now that we're ready to put our lights, I found a little block that was the exact distance we wanted to use. You could also use a piece of cardboard or something else to keep all your distances correct. But now that I have that, I'm going to peel off the adhesive, stick it to the wall, hold it for 5 seconds, and then for each bracket, I'm going to put the bracket on, and they come with these little things that allow it to kind of hold in place. And then I use a 1/16 drill bit to drill tiny holes in the metal soffit, and then I would be able to screw them in. And it's really helpful if you have 2 drills to be able to do this. It makes the process way faster, and then I can just begin going down the line, getting everything lined up. The first row finished that little bottom nook, but then I had to go up to the second level using the 12-foot extension. Now the hardest part about this is I'd never drilled into stucco, so you do need to drill in and then use the anchor, and I was able to start going on the top row. One small issue I've run into is I'm at the very end of the roof here, and I should have planned, you know, I didn't measure out every single thing beforehand, but if I would have started about 3 inches back from where I did, I wouldn't have all this extra cable right here, so I kind of had to just put some clips and hide it the best I can, just because I couldn't put this any further around the corner. So I did the best I can there, not the greatest, but now I'm ready to start on this next level. Now the hardest part was this second level, getting really high up on the peak, so make sure you were doing this safely. Did have somebody helping me hold the ladder, and then I was able to go all the way around. And for the bottom section, I made sure that I lined up the lights in the middle so I had the same on each distance, so it ended perfectly. And here is how the permanent outdoor lights 2 look with the bracket. Now I think this actually looks great. Everything is unison, lined up, and at night it just changes the whole look of the house. Now here on the corner, make sure you secure the line in so you don't have any hanging wires, but overall, very impressed with how this looked. So here with these new clips on the outdoor lights 2, I do like how it's able to keep both sides clasped in without having to do two different clips. And then I like how it has this little thing to keep it hanging, but I can only do 1 clip at a time as I'm worried about it just falling off and then I have to pick more up. But this one worked great. I did choose to have them in the front on this one. Now over here, this is one problem you can have is where it lines up right in that crevice with the soffit. So I did just screw right in, and the screws are long enough to be able to clasp onto that. Just don't go too tight or it bends it. But that looks pretty good. If you try and pull it too far to one side, you might pull the light so it's not going the right way, but this light's barely hanging on. So that one's gonna, it'll be nice that the clip is there. And then if we go over here, I decided to flip it around now so you can't see that little piece on the front there. I now moved it to the back, so maybe it looks a little better, I don't know. And then corners, I just go all the way there, pretending it's just following the same line. And then I had these other clips that I put back there so that it kind of all looks semi-unison. So that is how I put the clips on with the lights. Now with these brackets installed, I know this is going to last for a very long time, and all of the LEDs have a 50,000 hour usage time. It's now time to try out the Govee Outdoor Permanent Light Pro. Now the install is very similar to all of the other models. On this one, I did have the lights all the way at the edge of the soffit just to have a more classic Christmas light look. And then sometimes the easiest way to do this is from the top down onto the soffit, so that worked really well. And then I went all the way around the home. This actually had one continuous loop, so no real gaps. I didn't need to use many of the extensions until the very end. And then I moved around the house until I reached the end of the 9th string of lights right here in this corner. Now I originally had ordered the 150-foot model, but realized I need a lot more for this home. So I needed to have the full 200 feet. Now you can actually get up to 150 feet on all of them. So if you only buy 50 feet, you can then add another line all the way up to 150 feet. But with the Pro model, you can go up to 200 feet, but you do need to have the LED driver module. So I ordered that as well as 3 extra strands to be able to extend this all the way up to 200 feet. Let me show you how to install that. Now Govee recommends to put the LED driver module at the end of the 5th light strand and then have the 7 other strands after it. I didn't read that instruction, so mine's in a different spot. So it's right there. It just plugs into the end of the one, and then you can plug in the next strip to that. Now this had a big 3M adhesive on the back, so I was able to stick it up there so you can barely notice it, but it does give you a bit of length, so you kind of need a plan for that. The 5th strand didn't really have a good spot for it, so I ended up putting it here. It might be best performance if I do move it back further down the line. Now, after you do add more strand of lights, make sure you go into the settings in the app to say that you have more. We had some not working. We were trying to figure out why, and I just needed to go and recalibrate it in the actual app, and then all of the lights started working. Now, the second benefit is you are able to splice the line exactly where you need to end a line, so you don't have extra lights or just extra cable around the home. Now, after the module down this run, that is where we wanted to make a cut so that we didn't have extra lights running this way. So there I made a cut right in the middle of the lights, and I was able to add the little connector so that we could then splice on an extension. I have the extension going this way, and then it's starting the next strand of lights. So that works super well. And then I did have some lights left over, so let me show you where those are. And coming down the end of the run, this is where the last strip ended, but we did have that little left over. So I then added the other end right here, and we were able to finish perfectly with the last light right there. So this ended up so great. Now, when I did put the connector on, it did add a little bit of length, so I maybe could have measured to have the spacing be great, but looking at it today, it actually looks very close. So now that I have gone through and installed all of these permanent outdoor lights and it's nighttime, it's time to see what they look like. And now it's time to take a look at the OG outdoor permanent lights from Govee. Here we go. And those look so good. Now, I ended up using only 99 feet of the 150 foot, but this perfectly fit the home. Getting up the top part was a little bit difficult, but let's go ahead and check out more about what these look like. Starting off here, we have the middle of the white. Let's go a little bit more warm. Those look really good. And then we can even go all the way, and it gives it a little more of an orangey yellow versus a more warm white. But then we can go up to the more pure white, and this is the full pure white. Let's go back to that middle, and then here we are at 100% brightness. We can go down to the 50% brightness, and then down to the 1% brightness. So they're still on just a little bit, and they look great. Let's go ahead and try out some different colors. So here we have the red, orange, yellow, green. These are so bright and vibrant. Blue, light blue, purple, and back to the white. Now let's go ahead and test out some of the scenes. Now with these you have 84 different scene options. So again, there's the sunrise, sunset, nebula, forest, and then if we go into the Halloween, here's Halloween 2, Halloween C, and Halloween D. Let's go to sled. There you can see the little sled go up to the top, down to the bottom, and start back over. Christmas gift. Now, one thing you'll notice is when you have the lights closer to the home, you'll see it reflect more on the actual home, where over the porch, you're not seeing as much of that reflection, you're just seeing the light bulb. So it just really depends on how you want to have these placed on your home to have those different effects. And Christmas, let's do Easter, and firework. And so those are the Govee outdoor permanent lights. Really great option. I'm really impressed by how bright and vibrant all the colors are. So this is going to be great for every holiday throughout the year. And it's so nice that you can customize different sections as well as even each individual light. Now, getting this set up was great. They had tons of clips for this. Getting up high just was the only difficult part about it, but overall very simple install. The sticky adhesive and everything worked really well, so very impressed with these. Now it's time to test out the Govee outdoor lights too. And look at those, these turned out so good. Now I really like that new bracket that you're able to secure every single light with, and it gives it that nice unison look. Now starting off, let's check out the different whites. So here we have the nice warm white. And if we go to the warmest they can be, here they do dim a little bit, but that's a very nice warm light. And then as we go to the more middle ground, you can see they are brightening up a little bit, and then we can go all the way to the cool white, and it's that more pure white, but still looking really good. We're not seeing any other yellowing or anything like that. Very great white colors. And you can see that this is lighting up the driveway and everything else around it, which is great. So here we go back to that warm light. Now let's go ahead and try out the different brightness. So right now we're at 100% brightness, and then we're going to go to 50% brightness, and then we're going to go down to the 1% brightness. So quite a bit of range there in how bright these can be. Now let's try out some of the different colors. So we're going to put it back to 100%. So here we're going to go through the red, and there it takes a second to transition, but these look wonderful. Then here we have orange. Then we go to the yellow. And then we have green. And the green is one of the most bright colors. Then we have blue. And then we have light blue. And then we have purple. And then we go back to white. Okay, next let's try out some of those scenes. So here we have the sunrise scene, and these colors just look so good. Next we have sunset. Then we have sunset glow, nebula. Here we have forest. Here we have one called Universe that I think is really cool. It has some really nice colors to it. And here we have one called Cornfield. And this one's cool. It's fire, so it's kind of moving like firewood. And then here we have Halloween 1. Halloween 2. Halloween 3. Then Halloween 4. Here we have Thanksgiving. Here we have Sled for Christmas. This one's Christmas Gift. Here we have Christmas Tree. This is Easter. Here we have Birthday. And Fireworks. And those are the Govee outdoor permanent lights too. I'm really impressed with the improvements they made from the first model. They increased that brightness to the 40 lumens and then just gave it that a little bit better white, where it is a more pure, nice white to have on your home, and you have a little bit more control of how the lights look there. So overall the install was great. Love the brackets, and now it's time to check out the Pro model. And next up here we have the Permanent Lights Pro. Now these look so good. The main difference you're going to see with these are the brightness. It gets to the 50 lumens, and then it also has the option to do the super warm white. Here is the more middle ground white, and then here is the whitest you can get. So very pretty lights. So here is the warm white. Here's the middle white. And then here is fully white. I like to go a mix between this orange as well as the white. Now here we have full brightness, 50% brightness, and down to 1% brightness. Then we're gonna go for red. It's a nice transition, very nice, bright, crisp red. Orange, yellow, green, blue, light blue, purple, and then back to white. Now what we can do is we can go into the scenes, and here we can test some of the scenes. So this one is called Sunrise. You can see it's kind of like the sunrise from one end to the next. We have Sunset. This one's called Nebula. This one's called Wave. You can really see that wave pattern move. Fire. All of these are looking so good. Next, let's go into some of the holiday lights. So the next big holiday is Halloween. And it's slowly transitioning between light patterns. Halloween B. Halloween C. Halloween D. Now you notice when doing some of the scenes, the colors do dim a bit. They're not as bright as that pure white, but it kind of gives a really nice glow to it. Oh, this one's looking cool as it is changing, flashing around. I really like that. Okay, then we would have one for Thanksgiving. Then here we have one called Sled for Christmas. So you can watch the sled go across the house. We have Christmas Gift. Christmas Tree. And Christmas. Easter. Let's do St. Patrick's Day. This one's called Fireworks. This one's Colorful. And so those are the Govee Outdoor Lights Pro. I really love this set of lights. I love how warm and cool these can get. I love that you can have them perfectly aligned to your home and that you can make this 200 feet and have the most beautiful home in the neighborhood. Let's check out the Light Strip Pros. Now I don't have an install video on this, but it's very easy to install the brackets and then put up the lights. And here, when we turn them on, they look so good. Very bright, vibrant, very warm colors, and it lit up the entire backyard here. Now I ended up only doing one strand of lights on this house because it was a little late and I didn't want to wake up the entire neighborhood with how bright these are. So starting off, let's check out the different white levels. So this is full brightness. There we can see it's a little bit more cool, and there we're going all the way to the cool white. So very different range of colors. Now one thing I've noticed with these versus the other is you see all those tiny LEDs, but they are also able to kind of light up the entire home. Here we're going through the different colors. All the colors are looking really nice. Now going on to some of the scenes, they are a little bit more flashy than you would see on the other ones just because it's doing multiple lights at the same time, but the colors are very vibrant. Now when I was installing these, I did want to look for a straight line to do this, but you can go around curves. You can just kind of loop the light, and that works really well. Now with the light strip, I really like how some of these scenes look where it's changing the light in the backyard. Some of them can be a bit flashy, but they are pretty fun to have around. Now one thing I want to mention about the Govee app is you have the option to do all of these on all of these different lights. So you can create different scenes. You can easily create patterns of like 4 lights at a time, for different colors. You can go in and choose DIY, where you select every little light and it will change. And then you also have the option to use the AI assistant, where it's automatically going to create a scene based on what you have asked it to do. And then lastly, there's the option where you can play music and it will bounce kind of based on the music that you're playing right on your phone, which is really great. So I think these outdoor light strip pros are really great for any home. It's really making this so bright back here, and it's going to be so fun to hang out around these lights. And so those are your 4 different permanent outdoor lightings from Govee: the Outdoor Lights, the Outdoor Lights 2, the Outdoor Lights Pro, and the Outdoor Strip Lights Pro. Really, so many options that are going to be perfect for your home. If you have any further questions about these, please let me know down in the comments below about getting them set up, or some of the things that I did to get these to look so good. And if you want to check them out, you can check out the links in the description. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.